Hey gang, John Bacarella here with your Lake St. Clair Ice Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Wednesday, January 12th, and man, a lot has changed since the last report. But before I start talking specifically about ice conditions and about the fishing that's been going on, I want to remind everyone, for all you local guys that are fishing out here on Lake St. Clair, that the sign up for the big perch contest is going to end on Friday, okay? So if you're not signed up by close of business on Friday or online Friday night, you're not going to be able to get into that big perch contest. You'll still be eligible for our free contest for all the different species, but you won't be able to do the cash contest. So if you really want to be able to enter fish for that big perch contest, you either have to come into one of the stores and sign up and pay by Friday, or go online by Friday night and do the same thing. You can do it right from our website. You can search Big Perch and it'll come up on the website, and you can sign up right online, choose in-store pickup so that you do not get charged any shipping, because we're not shipping anything to you, right? So up till Friday you can sign up, and then Saturday we're going to start taking fish in, if you guys catch big fish, for both of those contests, for our free contest, multi-species, and for the big perch contest. So there, got that out of the way, so you guys all heard it. Friday is the deadline to sign up. So now let's talk about...
What date Friday?
Oh yeah, what date Friday? Friday is the 14th. So Friday the 14th is the last sign-up date, and the contest starts on the 15th. Thank you, Mr. Videographer Dude, Joshua. So now let's talk about ice conditions. So a ton of ice has formed out there on the lake, in spite of all the crazy wind that we've had. So let's start at the south end, and we're going to work our way north for you guys that haven't been able to get out and drive around. So starting, for me, the south end is the Crocker Road or Clinton River Cutoff boat launch. There is ice definitely farther south than that, down in the Mile Roads areas, and from 9 Mile on north, there is ice, I'm sure, that you can get on, plus all the different canals. And in most of the canals, you're going to find several inches of ice. And you guys know I don't give out exact numbers because of all the variability. But the canals definitely are more than fishable, and the guys have been on the canals up and down the lake for a couple of days. So, and we've got really cold temps coming in on starting tomorrow night. I guess the temperature is going to be falling all day tomorrow, and then starting tomorrow night we're going to get pretty darn cold, and then it's going to stay cold for a few days. So we're going to have single-digit nighttime lows, which is going to build even more ice because we don't have any snow cover. So going back to the Clinton River Cutoff, guys have been fishing out there. They've been catching perch. There's a pretty good jam right out at the mouth of that bay in front of the boat launch, but the guys have been getting around it. So they were fishing, they're getting out there. There are no machines going on the ice anywhere as of right now, guys. So I drove the whole shoreline, and I didn't see a single machine anywhere, and that's probably really smart considering the ice conditions that we have right now. So it could change by the weekend. The ice is going to get thicker, but as of right now, nobody is driving machines out there, and like I said, that's a good thing. So Clinton River, the cutoff at that boat launch there, or Crocker Road you guys call it, guys are getting out, they're getting around that jam, and they're even actually working their way around the jam. And I saw guys, and I got video of guys literally walking around the front and going over towards Geno's. Now, you need to be very careful if you do attempt that, because there's all different thicknesses of ice out there once you get out in front of Beacons Cove. So there's some older ice, there's brand new ice that just froze. And again, a lot's going to change by the weekend with the colder temperatures that we have coming in. But you've also got a lot of jam ice out there. So in and around those jams, you can have crazy conditions. When that ice heaves up and it jams and it traps air, and if we get snow, it'll trap snow in there, and it insulates it. And those are also actively moving a lot of times. So they're opening and closing, and in and around those jams, you can have, just very, very dangerous conditions. So use a spud bar if you're going to be walking around anywhere out there right now with the ice conditions that we have, okay? So you guys know I always preach the Speedy Spud or some sort of a toothed spud bar, so that you really can take a good bite out of the ice and get good idea of the thickness. So from Beacons Cove, the view from out there, lots of ice, lots of ice out towards Metro Beach. I mean, I couldn't see any open water when I checked it today out there, even with the winds that we've had. And we're going to end up with some east winds here towards the end of the week that are even going to blow more ice. Anything that's floating out there over on the Canadian shoreline is going to be coming ashore on the American side, and it may jam up, if it gets enough momentum going. So plenty of ice out there looking both directions off of Beacons and towards Metro Beach. So the next stop, then we're going to go over to Metro Beach, over to the day sail ramp. Lots of guys fishing out there today. I guess they had a pretty good bite out there today. Guys caught fish in the morning. I don't know about the afternoon time, but I know a lot of guys were going out. But there were some walleye caught out there too, mixed in with the perch. So, and more, I heard that from more than a couple of guys that they caught walleye also mixed in with the perch. So plenty of ice out there off of the beach. It's a lot of that chunk ice that originally blew in earlier in the week, so it's a little rough walking. And again, that white or that chunk ice can be a little more unstable, and it doesn't freeze as fast as like the black ice does. So you just got to bear that in mind when you're out there, okay? Pay attention to changing ice conditions. If you're going from an area that's got a bunch of chunk or broken up ice and you're going onto black ice, pay attention to whether there's going to be a big thickness change when you transition from those two ages of ice, because they're obviously different ages, right? If you get some that's all chunky and you got other stuff that's clear, you know that they didn't form at exactly the same time. So you're going to have a differential. One might be thick. It might surprise you. The black ice might be thicker than that white ice that you're on. So lots of ice out there off of the day sail or Metro Beach. Guys are still fishing in the Marsh. They have been for for probably about a week now back in the Marsh. And they've been doing pretty good on panfish back there, mostly crappies and gills and some pumpkin seeds, but they have been getting some perch as well. So I did not make it down to the Harley boat launch, although I did hear that there were guys out there fishing at Harley. If you do fish that area at that Harley boat launch, please bear in mind that there is current if you're going to fish the north side coming out of the Clinton River, and that area can change dramatically. It can literally change while you're out there on the ice. So pay close attention if you're going to go over on that side. Next stop, we're going to talk about Selfridge, the public boat launch there that's near our Selfridge store. That area has probably got the sketchiest ice right now out of any of the areas, mostly because that after it froze, the winds actually pushed a big chunk of that ice out, straight out from the boat launch, and left a huge gap of open water between. It was like maybe 150 yards of ice going straight out, and then a big stretch of open water, and then more ice outside of that. The scary part about that is going to be that stretch of open water is most likely going to freeze, and it's going to be black ice if we don't get any snow, and we're not supposed to. So that's going to freeze, it's going to turn into black ice, and that stretch of what is open water, if it doesn't get pushed back in before it freezes, is going to be much thinner than that ice that you're going to start walking out from the boat launch on. So really pay close attention, guys, if you're going to go out from that Selfridge boat launch. There was a lot of ice all the way down to the right coming out of that boat launch that was frozen. It looked to go almost all the way down into the corner by the barracks, I mean, as far as I could see. So that near shore ice is going to definitely be thicker than that stretch that was pushed open by the winds this week. So, but just pay attention to that if you're going out from the Selfridge boat launch. Wasn't many guys fishing in the boat launch itself because they had so many other areas to fish to get out on the ice. So that doesn't get as much attention right there until it, early ice and late ice. But when they got other places to go, it doesn't get nearly as much attention. Now, heading further north up the shoreline, I didn't shoot any video or pictures of Brandenburg. That's been sketchy. I've been keeping an eye on it all week. That's really been moving around out there a lot. So it was pretty tight today when I drove by and looked at it. But there's a lot of variability out there in that ice in front of Brandenburg, and there always is. That's the nature of that area. There's a lot of current right there. It never freezes great. So if you do go out there, use extreme caution. I did not check anything out there, and you're going to have a lot of differing ice thicknesses out in front of Brandenburg. Next stop then is going all the way up to Fairhaven, basically. Bobby Mack's. Looking out from Bobby Mack's, out to the right there was still open water. Actually, there was open water, and it's been that way kind of all week from about Meldrum Road all the way down to Bobby Mack's out, 150, 200 yards. Some of that definitely tightened up in the last day or two, especially down by Meldrum. There was actually a guy when I drove by out there on the old ice. But the stuff that I know that just froze, there was nobody out on that. But it did tighten up out about Meldrum Road. And then when you got out in front of Bobby Mack's looking out a few hundred yards onto the bay, there was still open water out there. Now, there was a lot of guys fishing out from that boat launch up there, that Fairhaven boat launch, all the way from there over to the raft. And not nearly as many guys right out from the raft as there were like either out from the boat launch and to the right or halfway between the boat launch and the raft. And I also heard the same thing happened up there as far as the perch bite, that they've had a pretty good perch bite going on up there in Fairhaven. So I think the bite was just on today, period. I talked to guys that fished all different places, canals, marinas, off of Metro, up there in Fairhaven, and everybody seemed to catch fish today at one point or another. So the bite was just really good. You hear in the background my dog going crazy up there. I don't know what's going on, but we'll have to figure that out. So the bite was going really good today. I don't know what it's going to be for the weekend with the colder temps coming in, but you have to get out there and try it. So I hope that helps you guys out this weekend out there with the ice conditions. Be safe. Use that spud bar until you're really confident of the ice that you're out there on, and go out there and get some fish and take advantage of this, what so far looks like it's going to be a really good ice fishing season. Hey, if you like this video content and you want to get updated as soon as the next video is out there, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon and you'll get notified as soon as the next video is up.